Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our evening class, or at least evening in the Pacific Coast. And for those in Asia, New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, good morning. We're going to be doing our practice, our mindful fitness and mindful meditation entirely in the sitting position in the evening. In the morning, we do half of it in sitting and then half of it standing. So first we're going to just do some warm-up exercise on the joints. So lift up your elbows, sit up straight, and hold your fingers and just rotate the wrist. Okay, rotate your wrist. Very slow. Very slow. Rotate your wrist and mindful of the changes in your body, the heat that it generates, the sweat the other way, perhaps a little bit of pain, some numbness. We call these the four elements: the earth, the fire, the water, and the wind. Is it better, Josh?
Denny, I can see you on Insight.
Yeah, sorry about that. Now I mute on Zoom. I didn't mute on Insight Timer. So sit up straight. We good now.
Timer either. I can't see you there.
You can't see me on Insight Timer? No, Monica says she can hear me fine.
Okay, must be my browser. Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna do the joint exercise on the elbow. Okay, so in this class we talk a lot about qi, and qi is an abbreviation of the Chinese word called 血气. 血 is blood, means circulation. So we got to get our circulations going first, the other way. And unfortunately, in the joints, there are no blood vessel. Karen said that she cannot hear me. I think we're okay now. Yeah, it's fine. Today is a day for some technical difficulties. Sit up straight, put your hands down. We got the wrist, we got the elbow. It's time to do the shoulder, okay? Very slow. Up, stretch, hold, and then down. Up, stretch, hold, and as you come down, imagine there are two walls and you're kind of like climbing on the walls a little bit. Up, stretch, and then down. Up, stretch, very slow, and then down. One more time. Up, stretch, open, and down. And now we're going to do it the other way. Open the shoulder, stretch, up, hold, and then down. Open the shoulder, up, stretch, hold, and then down. One more time. Up, stretch, and then down. Now put your hands in the front and then up. Go all the way back, open that shoulder, feel the pain, and then come down. Up again, stretch, hold, come back, and down. One more time. And down. Now we're going to start from the back. Put your hands as far back as you can. Go up, stretch, hold, and then down. Go all the way to the back. Up, stretch, and then come back down from the front. One more time. Up, stretch, and then down. Okay? Now the next one, we call this the double blade. So imagine your hands are like the two swords. Okay, so this actually comes from Shaolin martial art. So imagine they are like blades, okay, swords. And you take the right hand, you go in the front, and then you go all the way back as if you're protecting your back. So you got to go all the way back, and then now move the left hand, okay? Got to go all the way back as if you're protecting from the back. Somebody is attacking you from the back and you're protecting yourself, okay? This is from the Shaolin martial art. All the way to the back, open the shoulder. All the way in the back, open the shoulder. All the way in the back, open the shoulder. One more time. And open the shoulder. We'll finish up with the left hand. And sit up straight. Now the next one is also from Shaolin martial art. When they learn to throw a fist, they have to learn to unlock their shoulder so that they can reach their opponent before they can reach them, right? So we take a fist as if you're holding a baseball. We throw it to the upper left-hand corner. We open the arm, the fingers. We pull the elbow, and then we let the shoulder move a little bit, okay? Focus on your hand, and then the other hand just kind of put it on your thigh so you maintain some balance. Up, throw that shoulder out there. Up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. One more time. Up, up, down, down. Now sit up straight. We're going to do one at a time. So focus on your hand, okay? You don't want to hurt yourself. And now to the right, and then to the left, and then back to the right, and to the left. One more time. To the right, and to the left. Now 2 hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and you feel a little bit on the neck already, right? You feel it, right? Because it's kind of propagating up. So we're going to do the neck now as an important joint. So sit up straight, open the shoulder, feel your spine, feel your neck. Now put the hands in the back of your head, lock your fingers. Look down 45 degrees, and then press down your head, and then at the same time fight it with your neck, but the force actually comes from your back. So sit up straight and then fight it with your back and your neck, and you just very slow, little bit by little, little by little, and then when you get to where you think is the limit, don't overdo it. Just hold it there. Now to rotate the head to the left. Hold it. Feel the pain in your neck. And then now to the right and hold it. Sit up straight. Now back to the middle. And once again hold it. Straighten up your back. And then release very slow. Very slow. Don't release it all at once. Release very slow. Sit up straight. You can use the right hand. Touch the back of your ear. Go down until you don't feel the bone anymore, and start to poke around, find a spot where it kind of hurts, okay, and also a spot where you can fit all 4 fingers. Now sit up straight and just press down. Press down. You don't have to do anything. Just press down on that part of the muscle. Just press down. Hold the force, and then now you can, if you want, just rotate the head a bit. But we're not trying to fix anything right now. We're just trying to put more stress on the connective tissue. And then slowly release. Same thing on the right hand side. Start with the skull, go down. Okay, until you can comfortably fit 4 fingers. Sit up straight, press down on it. Apply the pressure. And then move your head a little bit just to feel it. Okay, now release very slow. And Kay asked if this is for headache. It depends on what you mean by headache. Is it the muscle ache or is it like the inside your head exploding? Okay, now right hand, put it on your shoulder, go down, and you feel the bone, go down some more, and then you can poke around. Everybody's a little different. Find the spot where you think you need some work, and again, use 4 fingers and just press down on it. Apply the pressure, okay? We're not fixing it right now. We don't want to hurt it. And then now take your hand and just move back and forth a little bit, very gently. We're going to fix it later, okay? All right, same thing. Find a spot that you just feel like today is the day, right? Just that spot is the spot you want. And apply pressure, move the hand a little bit, okay? All right, and release. So there is reason for all that spot that's aching, right? Because you have frozen shoulder, you have carpal tunnel and all that, and so these are so for the Chinese doctors, they just have a generic term for that. They said your qi is blocked. Your qi is blocked in the idea that you have muscle, you have connective tissue, and something going on. So there's the inflammation in between that what used to be a very lubricated layer is now stuck. So when it's stuck, there's some stress in there. Not only that, it doesn't conduct anymore, and so you got to work that. And so the next two is very, very good for carpal tunnel and frozen shoulder. Okay, so sit, open your shoulder, put your hand so that all 10 fingers are pointing forward, lock your elbow. Now, the 4 fingers, think of them as springs. So these are the springs, okay? Now you use the thumb as the trigger. So you're holding the 4 fingers back, but you're actually like winding up the 4 fingers. And you sit up, lock your elbow, and you let it go. And then you feel the vibration, okay? It's going back towards your arm. Okay, so we do this one at a time. So after you do this, feel the vibration, then you do the next one. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so when I had problem with carpal tunnel, I went to see all kinds of doctors, and of course in the end they suggest of injection of steroid. So I went to a friend introduced me to a Chinese doctor who actually just came from China. He was a military doctor, and this is what he taught me. So I do this 50 times in the morning, 50 times at night, about a week, and it went away. Okay, but that's just me. Now the next one we're gonna do this similar, okay? So we go like this, okay? Now, before we do that, we got to open up these 2 points, these 2 energy points. So focus on the top of your shoulder. Lift up your shoulder as if you're trying to touch the ear. Bring your whole body up. Now, go all the way back. Make a circle, go all the way back and relax. And then one more time. All the way up to your ear, bring your spine with you, open, and relax. So these 2 energy points is called the gate to the cloud. So now we're going to do the lotus hand, which is holding the thumb and the middle finger together. We're going to put that on top of these 2 points, and then we're going to open the hand all the way out, open the fingers, okay, lock the elbow, the back of the hand facing forward, and when we go towards the end, it's going to vibrate, and we feel the vibration before we come back, okay? So get ready, open, sit up straight, open the shoulder, lotus hand, concentrate. 1, feel the vibration. 2, feel the vibration. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So, Kay asked the question about headache. So if the headache is about tension, then basically it's stress related. And stress is the number one hidden cause, or maybe not so hidden, for all our illnesses. So you got to learn how to relax. And relax is not just not turn on the sympathetic nerve, because the sympathetic nerve has no off button. So you really have to learn how to turn on the parasympathetic nerve, and that's what this is all about. Okay? All right. So we got this going now, and so we're going to continue to stretch these energy lines. The two primary vessels, one in the front, one in the back. The one in the back coincides with the spiral cord, so that's easy. The one in the front, we have to do that with deep breathing. So lock your fingers, put it in front of, just right below your belly button, what we call the dantian, the lower stomach. And open your shoulders, sit up straight. And when I say breathe, it's a very deep breath. Has to be deep, slow, and steady. Okay? Open your shoulder, slowly breathe in. Turn around, breathe out. Now as you come down, unlock your fingers, and then as you come down, maintain pressure on your wrist, and imagine there's two mountains on the side, and you're climbing. And then come back, breathe in, very slow, very deep. Breathe out, again, very slow, very deep, very steady. Unlock your fingers, maintain pressure on the wrist, and then one more time, breathe in, breathe out, stretch, come down, pressure on the wrist. Now we're going to do the back, do the spiral cord, go up, and then stretch. Now feel the stress on your finger, your wrist, your elbow, okay? And now take your entire body and move it up, stretch it by an inch. Maintain that, and then tilt towards the back. Your entire spine is towards the back. Now come back in the middle, check the pressure on your fingers, your wrist, and your elbow. Maintain that pressure. Now the entire body goes to the left. And then come back. Again, calibrate, check all the joints, and the entire body goes to the right. And then come back. And then now release. Right hand stay on top. Put the palm of your hand in the back of your shoulder. Sit up straight. Use your left hand. Hold the elbow. Straighten up your back. And the entire body goes to the left. And then come back in the middle. And go to the right. And come back in the middle. And now we're going to put the hands together in the back. The fingers are touching, and the center of the palms are touching in the back, pointing down. We're going to rotate those fingers so they're pointing up. It might be difficult to hold the center of the palms together, but you should at least hold the tip of the fingers together. Now, and slowly slide it up your spine, very slow, as far as you can. Sit up straight, and you feel the pressure on your fingers, on your wrist. Now, focus on the shoulder, and we're going to open that shoulder. As you open, you feel the pressure, the stress in the front, but also in the back. Maintain stress on your fingers and your wrist and your shoulder, both front and back. Open as much as you can and hold it there. And then relax. One last stretch. We're going to do that with the arm, okay? So fold up your arm, palm of the arm facing up. Right hand, hold it between the fingers and the palm. Apply pressure on the fingers, but don't hurt yourself. Just feel the pressure. Feel the pressure on the fingers and the wrist, and then rotate the arm down. And then at this point, take your elbow and push it out. Push your elbow out as much as you can and hold it. And then now use your elbow to lift up your arm. Use your elbow to lift up your arm, so which means that you don't unlock the elbow. The stress stays. And now lift it all the way up to your eyebrow. Check the pressure on your finger, your wrist, and most importantly on your elbow. Hold it. And then relax. The other way. Sit up straight. Fingers between your finger and your palm. Sit up straight. Bend the fingers. The wrist goes down. Okay. Maintain pressure on the hands, on the fingers and the wrist. Now take your elbow and push out your elbow all the way to the limit. And then eyes forward. And now use your elbow to lift up your entire hand. All the way up until it reaches your eyebrow. Now check your fingers, your wrist, and most importantly your elbow. Push your elbow out, stay there, feel all the pressure, and then relax. Okay, so we did two things already. We did one thing which is just the joint exercise, and then we're kind of relieving stresses on these energy lines. And last week I talked about the energy lines. If you hear it for the first time, you should Google me either on YouTube or Facebook. And I wrote an article a couple of days ago on the energy lines, and then this morning I also talk about the chi body. Okay, so this is kind of important background information. Now the next one is going to look kind of strange. Now I live in San Francisco, so some of you probably know that we have this very famous bridge called the Golden Gate Bridge. During the construction, they actually had to halt the construction because there was a very similar bridge, not as famous, but a very similar bridge in Tacoma, Washington, that was just finished. And for some reason, it started vibrating. It started vibrating and it started twisting. And I'm sure you've seen movies on how the car was crossing as it was twisting. So they realized that it was called a wind-induced vibration. A little bit of wind, very tiny amount of wind, but just because it hit the resonance at the right place, the structures start to resonate. And the self-resonance is so great that the entire bridge collapsed. So they had to go back to the drawing board and redesign the Golden Gate Bridge. And I won't go into that. It turns out that one of my professors was the one responsible for the redesign. But in any case, the next step is going to be a little bit like that we're trying to create this self-resonance of our energy lines by adding a little bit of energy to it. Okay, so open your shoulder. We're gonna work from the shoulder to the hand all the way down to the toes. Open your shoulder. Okay, there's an energy points right here, and there's an energy points right here. It's the same one that I mentioned. You take your right hand, you make what we call an empty hand, as if you're drinking water. So what you're doing is you're creating a cavity, and so when you tap it, we're tapping, we're not hitting. When we tap it, we're doing acoustic coupling, we're creating energy, and we're pushing that pocket of air into these energy points to create this self-resonance. So empty hand, that's one. Two is that you got to keep your hand kind of soft because you're getting actually a downstroke and an upstroke. So when you hit, that's first time, and then when you release, if there's a vacuum, it actually draws a vacuum. So this is, if you ever seen the professional basketball now, or more famous than that is the Olympic swimmer that have all these red marks in the back. That's called cupping. So they're actually using suction. It's the same idea. Okay, open your shoulder. So key number one is empty hand. Key number two is keep your fingers soft. Key number three is to maintain focus. So we do that. I would say, wake up. You hit it the first time. You use the sound to connect with your ear, and then for the next 20 seconds, your mind is completely focused on this, right? So maintain that it's empty hand every time, and then also it has to be consistent. All right, try it. Open the shoulder, right hand, empty hand, put it on your shoulder, rotate your head to the right, listen with your left ear. Listen, and then continue. Okay, so this happens to be the gallbladder energy line and the lung energy line. The gallbladder. So don't get too hung up on these names because there's a loose coordination, not coordination, loose correspondence between the Chinese name and the Western name. For example, the gallbladder is much more than the gallbladder. Gallbladder actually is very much tied to the brain. Okay. All right, the other side, empty hand, put it on your shoulder, fingers on top, palm of the hand on the side, turn your head to the left, wake up, continue. Okay. The next one is going to be on the armpit, which is one of the energy points for the heart. So the heart is actually divided into two energy lines. One is called the pericardium, which is actually the mechanical function of the heart, all the vessels and muscles outside the heart. This one is the heart, but it also ties to what is called the thymus gland, which is the fountain of youth. Okay, take your left hand, straighten up. Put the elbow on top of your head, hold on to the energy points on the right ear, tilt your head a little bit so you put some pressure on, put some stress on that. Take your right hand, empty hand, wake up, and then continue. Okay, right hand on top of the head, holding the ear, sit up straight, tilt the head a little bit. Okay, left hand, empty hand, wake up, continue. Okay, sit up straight, and we're back to this arm now. The reason why we did so much stretching is because we want to get to this point. This is a magical point. There's two energy points here. One corresponds to the lung, one corresponds to the pericardium. There's another one here corresponds to the heart. So take your left hand, put it at eye level, lock your elbow, and then empty hand on the right side, and put and the fingers on top and the side of the hand on the side. Okay, wake up, continue. Okay, so if it hurts, you're doing it wrong. It shouldn't hurt, okay? It should not hurt. It should not hurt because, hang on just 1 second. It should not hurt because if you do it this way, it hurts. You see? But if you do it this way, it doesn't hurt, okay? Not only that, but when I listen to the videotape, it's very loud. But in reality, I'm just tapping a little bit like this. And the reason it's loud is because my energy line is hitting me back. Okay? To the right hand, left hand, empty hand. Put it on top. Listen with your right ear. Total concentration, okay? Wake up. Continue. So this morning I talk about, and it's recorded, so you should just find it on YouTube. I talk about the 3 different body as if it's 3 different avatar. Your physical body, your chi body, and then your mind body. And so the power in our practice is actually more in the mind, okay? And the chi is actually just a bridge between the body and the mind. So if you don't concentrate, then you're building a bridge to nowhere. Understand? Okay, so it's very important to concentrate. That's why I said listen, wake up, and then for the next 20 seconds, you just concentrate. All right, so we just finished what's called the upper burner, which is the lung and the heart. And so now we're going to work on the lower part. The separations is on the membrane and the belly button. So we're going to work on the lower part, which is the kidney and the bladder. Okay. Now again, the kidney is not the same kidney as in Western understanding. It's actually the second heart. So the kidney is very important to us. So the kidney is right here. This is an important energy point, and then in the back is an important energy point for the bladder. And the bladder is very important in the Chinese because it's the yin and the yang to the kidney. All right. So this time the palm of the hand is on top, and then the back of the hand is in the back. Okay. So rotate like the vertical windmill. Just do it. Okay. Don't overthink it. Okay. Swing the arm. Okay. Now we're going to work on the middle part of a body, and the 2 important ones are the liver and the gallbladder, which is again is a pair. And so put your feet up, out, give it a massage on the outside and on the inside. Okay. The outside is yang, the inside is yin. The yin is the liver, and the yang is the gallbladder. Okay, open your knee. Inside your knee, divide it into 3 points. First, the middle. We call this liver 1. Now move towards inside, liver 2. Now move towards the knee, but not yet to the knee. That's liver 3. Now close your knee. Now there's 3 in the inside, and then there's only 2 on the outside. Okay. Now start with the one in the inside. That's gallbladder 1. Now move towards the knee. That's gallbladder 2. Now to the knee. And further down, some of you are going to start to feel a little bit of pain. That's because your body is telling you that there's something wrong and you better start fixing it. And so in a sense, all we're doing here is self-healing. We're just letting the body heal itself by removing the blockage on the chi lines. Go down a little bit more. Open your knee inside. Go down a little bit more. Okay, we're done. We'll go back to the kidney and the bladder. And the next three energy points is called the earth, the sky, and the human. Right? So we're going to start to work on the earth. So you can see my feet, right? Okay, so there's a toe. And then the rest of it divided into 3/3. So 1/3 down, you can feel it. There's a little pit. Okay, so this is the beginning of the kidney. This is called the gushing spring. And just massage it with two thumbs, with your thumb. Massage that. If you happen to be a caregiver and you have a loved one who is either bedridden or that they're constrained to wheelchair, so that this very powerful energy line is no longer touching the ground, then you have to do this for them. Okay, now make a knuckle and this is going to hurt, okay? So back off if it hurts too much. Okay, now work on the heel. The heel is where the gallbladder is. Okay, work on the heel. All right, now to the right side. Now the Chinese medicine, the kidney is a lot more than the Western kidney. Okay, now start massaging that point again, just very gently. Besides filtering your blood, right? Because your entire volume of blood goes to the kidney 40 times a day. So that's a very important part. The second function it does is that it reclaims all the minerals. And so if you have a weak kidney, first thing that's going to happen is that your feet is very, very cold. And it's very, very cold during the night. Doesn't seem to get warm. That's because you have a weak kidney. But more important than that, now use the knuckle, is that the kidney is where you store essence. Okay, so it's not the only place that you store life essence, but it's one place that you store what's called the life essence. And the Chinese doctor believe that the essence that is stored in the kidney is the fuel for manufacturing marrow. So you can imagine how important that is. Okay, and then to the heel, a little bit to the heel. Okay, now sit up straight. And the next one is the center of the palm. So take your middle finger, fold it down, it's right there. Okay, massage the left. And then massage the right. Okay, and finally it's the one to the heaven or the sky or the cosmos, depending on how you translate. Sit up straight, open your shoulder, lean back your forehead, and then now tuck in your chin. So now the apex is pointing to the sky. This is called the 1,100 meeting. It's where 5 of your yang line, which comes up from your spine, meets the top. Okay, very important point. Sit up straight. Take your 10 fingers, put it on top. You don't have to get it precisely because there's an additional 4 energy points around the 100 meeting. So just very gently, we're going to tap it 50 times. Okay, all right, so now we're ready to do some meditation. So I talk about qi, energy line, life energy. The yogis have that too, you know that, right? The yogis call it nadi. And the historical Buddha was a yogi. 1,000 years later, Bodhidharma, who came to China and started the Zen meditation, he was a yogi. And so everything that we do here is related to the yogi practice in one way or the other. So it's just that the Chinese simplified a little bit, and so they think that there's 12 secondary vessel and 8 primary vessel. Okay, so the 12 I mentioned is from the fingers. 6 of them are from the fingers, and 6 of them are from the toes. They travel all over the place, and we're loosely associated with the 12 critical internal organs. But the 12 is also divided into yin and yang. So 3 of the hands are yin, 3 of them are yang. Similarly, the feet. All the yin goes in the front, all the yang goes in the back. I explained that last week in the video. So the next thing we're going to do, all the thing that we did so far, 42 minutes, is to just clear the blockage of these 12 secondary lines, which helps with our health by providing an opportunity for self-healing. So our internal organs start to heal itself. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clear up these 2 primary vessels, and we do that with abdominal breathing. Abdominal breathing means that we're actually using the diaphragm more than usual, because all breathings are done with diaphragm. There's no way not to breathe, not to use the diaphragm, because the lung itself has no muscle. We always use the diaphragm. It's just that we're going to use it a little bit more than we normally do. So we're increasing our lung capacity. That's good. That's number 1. Number 2 is that by exercising the diaphragm, we're massaging the internal organs. Your constipation, right? Your cholesterol, all those problems goes away. It activates the parasympathetic nerve. So it's going to shut off your cortisol, so your high blood pressure is going to come down. It stops sending the stress hormone to your body, so your reproductive organ is going to work again. Your digestive system is going to work again. Your salivary gland is going to work again. So all that is good. Finally, we're going to activate these 2 primary vessels by directing the electrons that are generated as we do abdominal breathing, because it turns out that the intestines are piezoelectric. So as you do that, you're generating static electricities. And so now what we want to do is run those electrons up and down the spine. Okay, we're going to do this in 3 steps. First, we're going to have some baseline, just to test our ability to do abdominal breathing. So very simple. I want you to follow me. Do 3 deep breaths by exhaling. Okay? We don't do deep breath by inhaling. If you do, you will hyperventilate. So concentrate, open your mouth, breathe out, just blow air through your mouth. Very slow, very steady, very deep. Blow air through your mouth. You feel that your stomach is collapsing as you do that, because the diaphragm is moving up. Continue, and then relax. When you relax, you feel air rushing into your nostril. Your lung is expanding. Your diaphragm is going down to make room. And then at the same time, you feel your stomach is expanding. So I want you to do that 3 times. And after 3 times, do what I would call assist breathing. Okay, so as soon as you know that you're breathing in, you open your stomach. As soon as you know that you're breathing out, you collapse your stomach. Just 1 minute. All I want is 1 minute of that as a baseline, okay? 1 minute. 3 deep breaths. Blow air through your mouth. Very slow. As you can, as deep as you can, as steady as you can. And then relax. Let the air rush in through your nostril. Feel your stomach is expanding. 2nd time. Do that on your own. And then 3rd time. And now we got a little bit over 30 seconds. And just try to breathe with your stomach. Open your stomach as you breathe in Empty your stomach as you breathe out. This is just a baseline, okay? We'll improve on this. Okay, so now we're gonna do some exercise. We're gonna do 2 exercises, and each time you should be able to see some improvement. First one is very simple. Sit up straight. Let go of your mind. Focus on your hand. Let your hand rise in front of you, all the way up to eye level. Bring it towards your body, and then let your hand drop. Sit up straight. Again, lift up your body, lift up your hand, that's 1. Bring it towards your body, that's 2. And then go down, that's 3. Sit up straight, that's 4. 1. Now breathe in with your nose, your nostril. Bring it towards your body, and then breathe out. You notice that there's a gap, there's a space between breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in, and then bring it towards your body, and then breathe out. As you breathe out, when you reach the end, relax, sit up straight. 1 more time, breathe in, bring it towards your body, breathe out. 1 more time, breathe in, towards your body, and breathe out. Now we're going to change form. Breathe in, cross your hand one in front of another, and then breathe out. Open your shoulder all the way. When you reach the end, pause, and then breathe in. Cross your hand again, bring it towards your body, and breathe out. Continue, breathe in, cross your hand, breathe out, all the way to the end. Breathe in, bring it towards your body, breathe out. 1 more time, breathe in, breathe out, very slow, no reason to rush this. Breathe in, bring it towards your body, breathe out. Now leave your hands down, close your eyes, straighten up your spine, and do that deep breathing again 3 times. Blow air through your mouth, empty your stomach. Feel your stomach is collapsing as you breathe out. Relax, feel the air coming in through your nostril. Your stomach is expanding. Do 2 more deep breaths, and then we focus on the breath. When we breathe in, we open the stomach. When we breathe out, we collapse the stomach. Start to notice that when you breathe in, the air is very, very fresh, full of positive energy. Notice that when you breathe out, the air is a little bit more damp, a little bit more moist, even as if it's full of negative energy. Relax. Keep watching that breathing. Keep watching your stomach. Focus on your stomach. See how your stomach is expanding and collapsing. As you breathe in, take that positive energy and bring it up through your spine, all the way up to your head, as if you're delivering the positive energy to your head. As you breathe out, start at the forehead and take all the negative energy in your head, all the anxiety, all the anger, everything that you don't want, and just remove it from your head as you breathe out. Let it sink. It's heavy. Negative energy is very heavy. Just let it sink so that it sinks all the way to your feet. You can feel your feet is getting heavy. It's absorbing all this negative energy. And then when you breathe in again, go up. And this time, take your body with you. Straighten up your spine, open your shoulder. Let that positive energy go all the way up to the top of your head. And then when you breathe out, take all the negative energy and let it sink. Let it sink Okay, this is called sedimentation. And then all the way down. And again, all the way up. Again, take your body with you. Focus on your body. And when you come down, focus on your mind. So you're activating the sympathetic nerve as you go up. This is important. This is survival. And then as you come down, relax, remove those positive, negative energy. You're activating the parasympathetic nerve. So I want you to do that for 3 minutes. Just focus. As you breathe in, notice your stomach is expanding. Take that positive energy, bring it all the way up to the top of the head. As you breathe out, take all the negative energy and let it sink slowly to their feet. You feel your feet is getting heavier and heavier, and your head is getting lighter and lighter. So make sure when you go up, you focus on the body. When you come down, you focus on your mind, and you tell yourself to relax. You got another 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, do the best you can. Okay, open your eyes. We have a little bit more to do. So last week I talked about adrenal fatigue. Idea is that you're in this sympathetic mode all the time. You're always fight or flight, always asking your adrenal gland to send out cortisol through the bloodstream and adrenaline through the nerve system. And after a while, get tired. It doesn't respond. And so it causes all kinds of health problems. A good indication is that if you squat down and you stand up, you get lightheaded, because supposedly when you do that is that your autonomous nerve system senses danger, so it should send a signal to the brain sends a signal to the adrenal gland to give cortisol to pump up your heart to compensate for the change in center mass. Well, if you have fatigue on the adrenal, it won't do that, and you have lightheaded. My mom is 84 years old, and she practiced with us 7 times a week, and this is the only time we practiced entirely on the sitting position. We would do all kinds of stuff on the yoga mat, and she had no problem. So I believe Kendall was the one that asked, well, how do you fix that? And I forgot to answer the question. Well, how do you fix that? There's nothing wrong with you. It wasn't caused by a virus. It wasn't caused by any kind of bacteria. It's just that you didn't give it rest. You're on Zoom all day. You're in fight or flight. And then you say, well, I'm done now, thinking that that stress will go away. It doesn't, because the parasympathetic nerve doesn't know how to turn itself off. It's cumulative. So the only way that you can fix that is give yourself a chance to heal by activating the parasympathetic nerve. It's just that simple. Either that or take a pill. Works too. Okay, so we're a little over, not too bad. We're going to do one more exercise, and I want you to see the improvement after this exercise. This is called the butterfly. So think of yourself as a butterfly. A butterfly is light and happy. Let go of your mind. Focus on your hand. Your hand goes up, fly. When you reach the top, the back of the hand touches each other, and then the hands come down, cross, and fly. As it comes down, I want you to breathe in, very slow, very deep, very steady. As you go up, I want you to breathe out. Again, with your nostril, close your mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep your spine straight. Sit upright. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Think of yourself as a butterfly. Be very grateful. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now put your hands down. Focus on your stomach again. You don't need to do the deep breathing now because we have exercised the diaphragm. Just focus on your breathing. As you breathe in, your stomach expands. As you breathe out, your stomach collapses. As you breathe in, your stomach expands. You're exercising your intestines, generating electrons. Now what we want to do is we want to guide these electrons up the spine. So as you breathe in, it's similar to what we did earlier, except there's a little bit more detail now. I want you to start at the bottom of your spine. As you take that deep breath, go up your spine, all the way up to the top of your spine, to the back of your head, to the top of your head. As you breathe out, I want you to start at the forehead, goes down to your bridge of your nose. At this time, I want you to take your tongue, the tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth, where the roof of the mouth and the teeth meets, so that when the electrons comes down, there is a complete circuit. It goes through your tongue and then down your chin, down to your chest, down to your stomach, all the way down. And then as you breathe in, make 180-degree turn, start at the bottom of your spine again. It's a very simple process, very simple technique. Don't think, don't even think, just do it. Breathe in, go slowly up. Breathe out, slowly down. Okay, we're going to do this for 3 minutes. Commit yourself to 3 cycles. So once you start, you say, I'm going to do 3. Start at the bottom of your spine, go up slowly to the top of your head, come down from the forehead all the way down to the bottom of your torso, upper torso. And then make a 180-degree turn, go back up, 3 cycles. Commit to 3 cycles. When you finish with 3 cycles, you can take a break if you want, or you can continue. But when you continue, you recommit. Okay. So this technique has a name. It's called the Microcosmic Orbit. But I got tired of explaining it, so I just call it mindfulness of Qi. Okay. Now, so the question is, where do you exactly take this? So in the past, if you hear it for the first time, you probably didn't hear about this part of the talk. So we're working on two energy lines. The one in the front is called conception, or I actually prefer called gestation, and the one in the back is called the governing. So the one in the back starts here, right here, goes up, and then, basically, you imagine your left and right hemisphere. There's that, longitudinal fissure. It just goes right through it, and then connect with your spine. Goes all the way down to your spine, and then there's this one energy point is right in the middle, right between your reproductive organ and the opening of the bowel. It's just right at the very bottom. It's the opposite of here, and that's the end of the governing vessel. And then it starts there and it comes straight up, and then it ends right here. Okay, so that's why you have to use the tongue to connect. All right, and so when you do the deep breathing, again, the small intestines and the large intestines, if you stretch it out, there are 6 times the length of a height of a normal person. So there's a lot of surface area. And so if you think of it from an engineering standpoint, is that it makes a very good capacitor. Okay? And so there's a lot of electrons that's stored in here. And what you have to do is you have to guide those electrons. And the spiral cord is superconductive, so that's easy to do. So as you breathe in, you go up. And then what you're really doing is you're using your brain, using your brain to provide the potential, okay, the voltage potential to just guide the electrons, right? And then they just let it come down, okay? Now, Kendall, you really have to sit in front of the class this time, okay? Because you keep giving really good answers. You got to move up to the class, okay? So last week, Kendall was the one, when I talk about connected tissue, he was the one that mentioned that, what we're basically talking about is fascia. You notice that I don't use the word fascia because fascia actually comes from the word myofascia, which is connected tissue for the muscle. It's just for the muscle, okay? So the fascia massage, fascia release now is really very popular. One reason for that is that you actually don't need a license to do that. You need a license to be a physical therapist, but you don't need a license to do fascia massage, okay? So that's one reason. The reason I don't use it is because in our practice, there are 2 reasons. One reason is that in our practice, we're not just talking about the connective tissue on the muscle. The connective tissue is everywhere, including all our internal organs or blood vessels. So I'd rather use the word connective tissue. That's one. The other one is that I don't want people to, again, fall into this trap of knowledge as opposed to experience. So sometimes when you associate a name to something, you stop your curiosity because you think, oh, I know it. I can Google it now. I know everything there is to know about it. Okay, so that's why I don't use it. I also don't use the word qigong because qi is the life energy. We all got that, and gong means practice. So you say, do I do qigong? I do qi-gong, meaning that I practice qi, but I don't do qigong because that's a name for a particular practice that was populated by the communists, the Chinese communists, in 1962. It's actually a very, very new technique. Okay, it is not the traditional technique. The traditional technique is called Dao Yin. Okay, I wrote about that. Josh and I talk a great deal about that. Okay, all right. So finally, on the microcosmic orbit, that's a heritage. I know that's what we do. I also do only an abbreviated version of that. We just don't have that much time, okay, to go into it. So I hesitate to use that word. So I'm slowly moving away from it and just say that this is mindfulness of qi. All right, I talked too much. We're not done yet. We're going to do some massage. Put your hands together, generate some heat. You're going to massage the forehead, the temple, and then the face, up and down, but not the front of the face, not yet, okay? Then we're going to go back to the top of the head. Whenever you do meditation, you should at least do something to wake up your body. Because as you practice meditation, you develop an aversion for your body. Okay. Now we're going to massage the top of your ear, the middle of your ear, and then the earlobe. Then we're going to put the hand behind the ear and just very gently swipe it, activate all the energy lines. Okay, sit up straight. We're going to start at the corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth. 2 fingers, one way only. There's a lot of energy lines here. You can study it. Okay, now we're going to massage the bottom part of the eye socket, not the back. Okay, not the eye back, but you can touch it. It's actually nice and firm. That's the bottom part of your skull, your eye socket. So from the corner of your eye to what we call the tail of the eye. Okay. And then now the other side, from the corner to the tail. Okay, now we're going to massage the top, starting like right here. Not forget about the eyebrow. Everybody's different, but it's right here. Okay, you can feel it. And we take the index finger, we make like a hoop, and we can squeeze like you're squeezing toothpaste. Okay, squeeze like you're squeezing toothpaste. You do this every day, you're going to save a lot of money on artificial teardrops, because essentially you're opening up the tube, the oil tube. The reason you need artificial teardrop is because you don't have any oil, not because you don't have any tears. Okay, okay, 2 fingers, and we're going to do this part. This is the beginning of the governing vessel. Okay, now we're going to massage the fingers, and I talk about the fingers. The 3 yin is the heart, the pericardium, and the lung, the pericardium, and the heart. There's the 3 yang lines that has to do with the small intestines, the large intestines, and the triple femur, which doesn't have a Western equivalent. So we're going to take each of the finger, we're going to pull it, and when we reach the end, we're going to massage the fingernail. This works on the vital organs. Now we're going to do 5 times of getting the bad chi out of your body. Some people call that the lion's roar. Open your shoulders, sit up straight, focus on your elbow. You're going to make sound like the lion. I lie. The lion doesn't roar like that. Okay, end of class. Thank you. We're going to answer some questions. I'm going to share the screen with the rest of my class. Josh, welcome.
Hey, Denny, thanks for doing that. I got the earphones so I don't get feedback this time, and sorry for technical difficulties. Everything was great. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. It's not the same, it's like the yin without the yang.
Oh, thanks, Denny.
So we had a little bit of technical difficulty in the beginning, but it seems like everything works good. I always have a problem answering medical questions, last time there was a question about, I forgot what the question was, but anyway, it's
a fine line between wanting to help and not wanting to make mistakes that could harm people. So yeah, we give a disclaimer a lot of times that it's not medical advice. So go see your doctor, and this is just what's happened in our experience, right?
Well, yeah, exactly, and I mean all my medical knowledge come from having to take care of my parents. So if you ask me a question about diabetes, seizure, dementia, high blood pressure, arthritis. I know about that, a lot about that. I know all the names of the medicines. I know how they work. But that's the extent of my medical knowledge. You know, I do it as out of self-defense.
Yeah, and as a caregiver too, right? Yeah, prevention and caregiver.
Yeah. So anyway, the theme of what we do here is self-healing. Okay, self-healing. One of my family member, a very person dear to us, is now going through the hospice site process, and it's scary. Dying is very very scary in America. I don't know how many of you know about the hospice process. How many of you know that there comes a time in your life where the doctor says, well, we can fix you, but it's not going to worth the effort because it's not going to increase the quality of your life. And you're still living. You're still living. But they said, well, we're not going to do it because the Medicare won't pay for it. And it comes like that. It's just like this in day and night. Right? Kendall, did Dao Yan change when it became Qigong? It's an excellent question. Did yoga change when it came to North America? Did hamburger change when it came, when it came from Hamburg? Americans have this way of destroying other people's culture.
It's called the pizza effect, though. Remember this?
Although Qigong has nothing to do with United States, yeah.
Pizza came from Italy, changed here, but then the changes from here went back to Italy and changed that.
Yeah, but anyway, the question deserves an answer. The question deserves an answer, which is what is exactly the difference between Dao Yan versus Qigong, like the way the communist China prescribed it. So I told this story before, but I'm going to give you a quick version. I'm 65 years old. I was born in 1956. The first time that I remember going to China was when I was 2 years old, and when I left, it was the beginning of the famine, and I believe like 50 million people died from starvation. So by 1962, they had just climbed out of that. And so the country was in a very, very bad shape. And they didn't have medicine, they didn't have food, nothing. And so the communists, one of the communist members decided that, well, what about this thing called the Dao Yan, or this internal, what's called the Nai Gong is part of what is called the internal practice that the priest and the Buddhist monk used to practice. And they said, well, that's a great idea. We should use that because that should help our problem. The only problem is they kill off all the Taoist priests and the Buddhist monk. So now what do? Well, they have to start from scratch. And what they came up with was Qigong. So the thing that they cannot do in communist China is that it cannot be a spiritual practice. Think about it. You can't have spiritual practice in a totalitarian dictatorship. You can't have that in communist China, right? Because not only do you not have physical freedom, you can't even have spiritual freedom. So they can't let you make this in the spiritual practice. So Qigong as is practiced in China today is all about the body and the Qi. It's never about the mind. It's never about the spirit. Okay? Same as with yoga. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit called yuja, Y-U-J. It means one with the Brahmins, one with the Brahmin king. It's a spiritual practice. So when it came to America, we can't have that neither because we don't want a religion here. We already have enough religion. So we can't practice it, we can't have it as a spiritual practice. So it becomes a gymnastic. It becomes just exercise. That's the difference, okay? So I practice everything for my spiritual release, for my spiritual healing, okay? So one of the things that I said is that I practice Qi as a journey, not as a destination. It's what I use to allow me to emancipate my mind. Okay? Does that help?
Yeah, in yoga, there's 8 limbs in a lot of different systems, and the asana or the postures, that's basically all that's really taught in the West, just that one. limb of yoga, the postures, asana,
Yeah, yeah,
for the most part. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, there's so much to learn. There's really so much to learn. There's so much to learn. And again, don't think of me as a teacher, teaching you what I know. I mean, I was a professor for 9 years, and the one thing that I learned about teaching in a university is that you only need to be one lecture ahead of your student. Just read the book the night before, and you're good. So I might be a little bit ahead of you, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to share with you so we can experience together. Okay, too? Okay? Anything I missed, Josh?
No, you kept up the whole time. It was good too. And yeah, this is like the only thing I really know is that the more I learn, the more learn I need to learn, or the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. Right? So it's a lifelong
No, I
process
agree
for
with that.
learning is,
Yeah, I teach, I use the word quote unquote teach because it's the best way for me to learn. So I'm actually learning. This is me learning. And if you follow us from the beginning of the year, we actually been doing this now for a year and a half. But on the Insight Timer, it's only at the beginning of this year. So
yeah, that's another thing. Teachers can learn more than the students from their students, and it can be vice versa too. Like some of the students can really find out how to kind of teach themselves as well when they get into the practice and learning.
yeah, okay, I gotta go. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everybody. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for
Yes, thank you for the donation.
Yep.
And see you next week. Bye bye. We have 6 o'clock in the evening and 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 2 classes. In the evening, in addition to sitting, we actually do a lot on the mat. Okay, bye bye.
Bye everybody.